Hello everybody. How are you? How many of you want to know how to contour the summer with like a body bronzer? So like a body bronzer as in like bronzer that you would use on your body to make your skin look tan and glowing and all that fun stuff. So I'm going to show you how to do that today. How many of you struggle with per se, like when you use a body bronzer, your face, like your melasma shows? That's one thing that I used to struggle with, was like the melasma showing when I would do like a bronzer, like a body bronzer. And so I hated how it would look like on my skin, because sometimes a lot of body bronzers do exacerbate some of your melasma and that kind of thing. This is allergies from being outside today, so just bear with me. My eyes are uber irritated. Okay, so the first thing that I want to do is show you how to apply your contour, like your highlight first, because you're going to need your highlight first in order to apply this, because you're actually going to be reversing your makeup. I know this is kind of crazy, but you're going to be reversing everything. So rewind everything, go everything that you've been taught, and you're going to rewind everything, and I'm going to show you how to apply it backwards. So for example, maybe you've applied your, I'm trying to find my here it is. Maybe you've applied your contour before your foundation. Hi Bianca, before your foundation, or after your foundation, you're going to actually be applying your concealers before that. Okay, I know that sounds crazy. Just bear with me. I know you guys probably think this lady's cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, but trust me, there's a method to my madness. Okay, so I want to make sure I have the right brushes for that. How many of you struggle with like a contour, or how many of you struggle with applying a contour, or you've always wanted to apply a contour and you're like, I just don't know. I'm afraid I'm going to do it wrong. That kind of thing. Yeah. I still struggle with that. Hi, Diana. So the first thing that I want to do is I actually want to just hide this. But before I do that, I want to apply an SPF as if it was during the day. I wear SPF every day. So it's nothing unusual for me to even put it. I put it on at nighttime too, because it does have anti-aging benefits to it. Okay. So I always put on like a primer of some sort, because I want my skin to adhere to that. Now, if you're not wearing a primer, you're injusticing yourself, because primer is actually really great for kind of being that surface on your skin, between your skin and your foundation, and you're not going to have to use as much. And I like to put it in terms of, you would never paint your, well, some people may, but you would never paint your walls without putting a primer on, right? Because you would use more paint, and it would take so many coats, right? So you always want to use a primer on your face as well. Your foundation is going to last longer. It's going to look more flawless. And it's also not going to get into those fine lines and wrinkles. Now, if you struggle with purpleness, dark circles, anything like that, you're going to want to use a salmon base. Oh, I grabbed the wrong one. You're going to want to use a salmon base concealer. See, guys, this is what happens when I mow the lawn. Like, I look like Hitch. I'm like, okay, so you want to use a salmon based concealer. So you're going to see here, this is a lightening concealer, olivey green concealer, and this is going to be your salmon based concealer. Okay, so people are going to be in between this one and this one. This is for more darker skinned toned. Okay, so you're going across from the color wheel, and you're actually canceling out colors. Okay, so if you look at the color wheel, which we all know what the color wheel is, if you look at purple, across from it is like a reddish, yellowish, orangish color, and that's salmon based, right? So if you struggle with purpleness, you're going to want to do that first. So I don't have tons of purple. I just have a little tiny purple nurple there. And I have more purple like right in this area, and that comes from my glasses. I wore my glasses right before I came in here. But do you see how little that is that it takes to cover up that purpleness? It completely covers it up. And so that's why I like cream based. If you've never used cream based before for your concealer, you're going to be amazed. Now, it used to be, hi Lori, it used to be that you would put on your foundation first and then your concealer. I have found that that is a little bit harder. Sorry, my allergies are just crazy. My allergies are just nuts, as you can see. They're crazy. So that's why before I show you how to bronze with our body bronzer, you have to conceal underneath there. Now, you don't have to, but I always recommend it, okay? So I'm going to take this, and as you see, I put that on there. Now, I hate this little spot right here, so it's red. So if you look at red on the color wheel, across from it is going to be more of a olivey green color. So I'm just taking a little bit of that, and I'm just going to apply it. And I'm going to just take my finger, and I'm just going to rub that around, okay? Do you see how that just cancels that out? Like, you don't even see it anymore. You could even use it on these reddish areas if you want to, right? Because it's red there too. So you can cancel that out. Now, the reason why I like to play with concealers like this in the summertime is because these concealers are actually waterproof and sweat proof. I don't know about you guys, but for me to have waterproof, sweat proof makeup is super duper important for me because I sweat like a teenage boy. Like, it's horrible. I sweat like a teenage boy. And I don't know, I've always been like that. I've never been able to not be like that. I've tried everything, and I hate that when you put your makeup on and you walk out the door and then you just sweat it all off, right? That's a pain in the butt, right? Can't stand it. So we've canceled out that purpleness, right? So now we're going to lighten underneath the eyes, okay? So this is going to be a lightener, and that's going to be a contour, okay? You can do your whole face with 4 concealers. A salmon base, an olive base, a highlight color, and a contour. You can do your whole face this summer with 4 creamy concealers, which is great because who wants to use tons of foundation and it just sweat right off, right? So I always tell people that you never want to put on your concealer after foundation because it's just going to look a little bit different, and then you're just going to keep layering it, right? And you don't want to layer it, right? So I kind of saw this trick on TikTok, and I'm going to kind of try it and see how I like it. She actually did her concealer, her lighter concealer kind of right in here, okay? Now, I'm going to have you take your contour concealer. Okay, now here's the thing with contour. It used to be that we used to do our contour like this, right? We actually want our contour to be up because if you look here versus if you have contour like this, what do you think is going to happen? This is going to make the face look droopy. This is going to make the face look lifted, right? And we don't want to look droopy, right? So we want to actually bring that contour right there. Now you're probably like, where does this bronzing stuff come to? It's coming. I promise it's coming. I'm just throwing on some contour. Now this used to be called reverse foundation, and then it came out. There's this huge like fad. Other companies started doing this. This is stuff that makeup artists have been doing for so many years. And then all of a sudden, different companies were coming out with this way. This has been a form of application for a really, really long time. So it's interesting to me how things just kind of come back in trend, I guess. I know I look ridiculous right now. I look like I'm ready to go to war with Braveheart. Okay, so we have the lighter concealer on and we have that there, right? Okay, so what you want to do is you want to make sure you have, and I don't know why I didn't grab this before I started, is a blender, a beauty blender. I'm just going to use my new one. This is my brand new one. I needed a new one anyway. Okay, so I'm actually going to get this wet. I like to work with a wet blender because a wet blender makes everything move so much easier. Okay, now this is a different type of blender. When you're working with like cream-based foundations, you never want to use a silicone primer. That's why I like using that SPF primer, because it's a primer moisturizer and it is an SPF. Okay, but silicone and wax / cream-based foundation or concealer is going to be just like a slip and slide. It's going to look like an oil slick, right? So you never want to use a primer that has silicone, but honestly, across the board, you never want to use anything with silicone in it, because silicone is very toxic to the skin and actually dries out the face more. So then that's going to accentuate your wrinkles even more. Unfortunately, that's just the nature of the beast, right? It's the nature of the beast. Okay, now before I go, I want to show you guys this little trick-a-doo-doo-doo. Okay, so I'm going to take some of my foundation here. Okay, this is my regular foundation. And I'm going to take it, and because it's cream, it just comes off straight like this, okay? Which is great, right? Now, how many of you here have used a cream-based foundation before? How many of you? Okay, so I have this here, and I'm just kind of working it into the hand. Okay. And then I'm taking a body bronzer, okay? Now, before, I never used to be able to use a body bronzer because, like I said before, being a mature-skinned woman, it just accentuated my wrinkles or my melasma. And so I was kind of like, I was hesitant of it, right? Like, I don't know for sure if that's what I want to do, right? So I'm actually taking this body bronzer that I added to my foundation, okay? And I'm just applying it right into these areas, but it has my foundation on it, okay? I know, just trust the process here. Trust the process. Okay, so I'm just taking that concealer, I'm doing one revolution of it, and then I'm going in, and I'm just gonna pat it out, okay? I'm just patting it out. Now, just trust the process here. I promise you, I know it looks scary at first. It does look scary at first, but I promise you it's going to look normal here in a minute, okay? So do you see how it's kind of normalizing there? Okay, and I like to switch this over, and I like to just pat in that lighter color, okay? Oh, my eye is like super duper swollen right now. It's really embarrassing for me. I think I was outside with my daughter in the pool today, and I think something like flew into my eye. And so it's really quite embarrassing to look at. Personally, it's quite embarrassing. It's quite embarrassing. Now, you don't have to use a body bronzer. You can actually use a rose gold color if you wanted to. So I'll take a rose gold color and kind of show you. I can layer it. It's not a big deal. So this is kind of what rose gold looks like. It's a little bit lighter. I'll just take some foundation. And so the reason why I'm just putting a little bit of foundation in there, because it's going to make it creamier, if that makes sense. It's going to make it look and appear creamier. Okay. Oh, excuse me. I feel like my husband's allergies are crazy too. We're both like, he never dealt with allergies. He always used to be like, allergies are not that bad. Like, it's not that bad. I'm like, And now that he has them, you know, it's kind of like men when they're never sick, you know? Or whenever they're sick, it's like they're dying or something, you know? Okay. So do you see this process of... So I like to use this. Now what's great is it's not actually a... I walk like 5 city blocks just now and I can feel... I know it's really hot here today. It's like super hot here. like really, really, really hot. And I didn't really feel like it was that hot until I got to my destination a little bit ago because we had to go get groceries. And then I walked outside for a few minutes and I'm like, oh, this is uber bad. This is really, really bad. Okay, so you guys can see like this process is super easy, and that's why I like creamy concealers and cream foundation, because as a mature skinned woman, your skin is just going to feel a lot better. Now you can take this bronzer that I pulled out and take a brush like this. And so we're just going to apply that right in there. Oops, I grabbed the wrong one. Sorry guys, I'm like totally out of it today. Yeah, my allergies have been nutso today. Oh, there's my other bronzer, or my other blender. I told Lance, I'm like, my allergies have been crazy this last week. I don't understand why they have to be so horrible. Now, so my skin is for sure waterproof at this point, because I'm going to have all waterproof based products on. It's not going to look crazy. And my skin feels super, super light, but it looks shimmer. It doesn't look shimmery. It just looks, are done by now. Yeah. I'm over it. Oh, see that eye? Something must have got in there. And I like to use our lip balms in the summertime because they as well give this really pretty, see that pink color it gives? It's just super pretty. And I just like to go back in with a blender and I just like to blend that in. Plus I like to use it for my lips. It just looks super pretty. Look at that pretty. This is a lip balm. Love it. It's got shea butter, all that fun stuff. And then I always this is kind of what I wear in the summertime, just a quick little, and I like to put on brow gel. Brow gel is super, super easy to put on, no matter what your advancement, no matter what brows you have, whether they're thick or whether they're thin. It has fiber-like things in it that actually fill in that brow, but it gives you almost that illumination look that a lot of people are going for, you know, where it stands up because it actually freezes them. And so I love that it does. I'm not going to put any mascara on because my eye is like on fire. But this is these are my summer essentials. Like this is what I love to do, just to have that quick bronzy look, but it's all waterproofed. And so the way that I ensure myself to know that it is waterproof is I actually just apply my 10 Years and Younger spray, and that holds it for up to 16 hours. It doesn't budge, doesn't move, doesn't go anywhere. So I know it's like staying right on there. So I don't wear makeup that often in the summertime when I'm out because I sweat so bad. Because if I forget to put on my concealer, then I'm sweating like a 15-year-old boy, right? So that is how I like to contour and to highlight with a body bronzer. I used a rose gold and I used a bronze. If you've never contoured before and you want my step-by-step guide on how to, like what I just did in here, comment down below, free, and I will shoot you that diagram totally free, no questions asked, but I just want to make sure that you have the information. So absolutely love these, but what I was going to tell you guys is these wash off in the shower. So you're not going to get that stank that you would normally get, right? You wouldn't get that stank that regular self-tanners do, and it's buildable, so you can wear it. Now, do you see how I have that on and it's not exacerbated my melasma? That is huge for me. So if you want that diagram, comment down free. I'll shoot that over to you. Have a good night. Have a good day tomorrow. I will see you guys